live across the board, right? There go the little buzz. But live across the board, it's Mr. Aaron from the House of Aaron, one of your middle class millionaires. Hey, we had a little bit of technical difficulties, but guess what? We still yet going. I even had a little difficulty. I fell asleep, and it's now 2:10, but we still moving forward. Just because I'm doing it late, that don't mean I wasn't going to do it. You can watch the replay without all the space in between. If you're on Facebook or Periscope, you can just go straight to middleclassmillionaire.pw uh, /live hyphen hangouts, and you can see all the replays. So today, we're talking blood, we're talking tears, we're talking sweat equity, and we even have a bonus for you. We're going to throw in that bonus of the 6 belief patterns that hinder you, and that's for the simple fact that we're going to get this done right now, right? So, we're talking about the fluids of leadership. We're talking about the fluids of leadership, which is how do you do it? The blood, tears, sweat equity. I know it's easy to say blood, sweat, tears, but we want to do it with the blood, the tears, and the sweat equity, right? So what are we talking about? It's the ABCs, 123s, that business mindset training. And what we do here is we take the 3 words, we define them in a way that helps the business person get their mindset ready to run any business. Right. I know a lot of network marketers are on here, but guess what? It works for any business. I run a daycare, and I'm also a network marketer. I'm striving to become a network marketer professional. That's why Monday through Friday we're here every single night, and Wednesdays we studying network marketing professional Eric Ward, and on Monday I break down the ABC, and then on Tuesday I give you the 1, 2, 3 from each letter, right? So Tuesday I take the first word, I give you the 1, 2, 3 on that, and then on Wednesday we study Eric Ward. We'll be on chapter 3 coming up, and on Wednesday I give you uh, letter B, which this week would be tears, 1, 2, 3, and then so on and so on. We do that. We close out Friday, wrapping it all up, right? So you get an ABC, blood, tears, sweat, equity. Then you get a 1, 2, 3 for each one of those. And on Wednesdays, we study in the book to help us become better entrepreneurs, help us run our businesses more effectively. So let's start with the blood, sweat, and tears. The blood, tears, and sweat equity. Okay? So when you're looking at the definition of blood, this is why it's called the liquids of leadership, right? The liquid of the fluid of leadership, all those liquids in leadership, right? This is where it comes from. Yeah, so I said the fluids of leadership, and believe me, we're going to continue to go over that this entire week. The fluid of leadership. The first fluid is blood. Blood is a liquid that carries oxygen in the body. Blood is the liquid that carries oxygen in the body. And blood is that life force that keeps the body going. It carries the oxygen into the heart, to the brain. It keeps things functioning, right? Blood is very vital. And of course, when you talk about the blood of any business, they'll tell you it's the income. If you don't have a business if you're not making money. That's what Mr. Wonderful will say from Shark Tank, right? It it's not a business, it's a hobby unless you're making money. So just like blood is the liquid that carries oxygen in the body, hey, I'm giving you a little bit of preview of what's to come tomorrow, and that is blood is also it's the life source of a business, right? Which is income. And next we talk about tears. Now, tears is the liquid that comes from the eyes. I'm gonna give you some facts. When we do the 1, 2, 3, it probably be more than 3 things when you're talking about the tears and you're talking about business. And hey, Like I said, I'm not trying to give y'all too much of the 1, 2, 3s for the blood and the tears, but it's the liquid that comes from the eyes, just like the liquid that carries oxygen in the body to help with the life force of the body. And then we're talking about sweat, right? Sweat or sweat equity. And sweat is the liquid that comes from the skin when you're hot or you're nervous. It's the liquid that comes from the skin when you're hot or nervous, and that's when things are getting warm on you. That's when things are getting a little tight. So, hey, be looking for the 1, 2, 3 for blood. Be looking for the 1, 2, 3, or the 1, 2, 3 for blood is coming on tomorrow or later on today, which is Tuesday. The 1, 2, 3 for the tears will be coming on Thursday. On Wednesday. Yeah, that's right, on Thursday. And the 1, 2, 3 for the sweat equity, for the sweat and sweat equity, will be on Friday. So remember, Wednesday we're studying GoPro, Eric Warrior's book, The 7 Steps to Become a Network Marketing Professional. And now here's your bonus: the 6 beliefs that hinder you. And we're going to talk about why they hinder you right now, tonight, right? So it says, now these are some of the notes I was taking. Listen to you can look him up, TD Jakes. He talks about the leadership, right? And he talks about that most people when they looking into it, they feel like they're undeserving. So if your belief pattern is I'm undeserving, like I said, we talk about expanding your mindset because guess what? If the most you ever made in your life was 26,000 or 50,000 in a year, you can't see yourself making that in a month. You just can't. Your mind can't handle it. You think you're undeserving. You think you're not able, that you're not worthy to take and to make what you made in a year in a month. You can't get past the threshold that you're going to do something. You're going to do something different, right? Which the other one is number 2. So number 1 is you're feeling like you're undeserving. You feel like you can't handle it. So boom, you just, hey, this not for me. I don't supposed to have this. And that's how them people who hit the lottery lose all the money that they make. They don't know how to make proper decisions because they got more money than they ever had at one time. That's why some of these professional athletes totally blow it because they just don't understand. They never been in that position, right? Which brings us to number 2. Is not the ordinary. People hinder themselves and they think they only should be ordinary instead of going for the extraordinary, right? They don't want to go above and beyond. They want to just be, oh, I just want to blend in. I don't want nobody to be offended that I'm extraordinary, that I have this talent, that I have this ability, that I have this skill, that I have this service, and I could do it better than anybody else, but I got to blend in. I got to be ordinary, or else everybody's going to be feeling some kind of way. You know that song, feeling some type of way, which also brings us to number 3. To the number 3 belief that hinder people is the social change. You want to hold on to your broke friends. You want to hold on to your friends with a limited mindset. That you're gonna have to be socially awkward to be successful. People think people thought Michael Jackson was crazy. He accomplished so much in his musical field. People thought that Prince was crazy. People definitely think Beyonce crazy. I think she crazy with the way she handled herself. But that social change, that's the only way. Being social awkward is the only way to separate yourself so you can get that focus on it, right? You gotta have that focus. And so social change is gonna come, but it hinders you. You don't want to let go. You don't want to let go of those people, right? That's what, like I said, I'm gonna continue to talk about the professional athlete because guess what? They make it to that level. They make it to that stage, and then guess what? They can't let go of the neighborhood. They can't let go of the block. They can't let go. They're not ready for the change when they don't realize you can't. Tupac said it. I know Tupac said it. I normally say a wise man once said, but Tupac actually said that he can't live in his old neighborhood because they're gonna rob him. He like, I'm gonna get robbed. I can't live. I love being in my neighborhood, but I can't live here because of my success. Just like with the boy Cat Williams, he keep going there. He won't accept the social change. Yes, you could go back. Yes, you could do your things that you're supposed to do in your community, but Cat Williams caught up in that community, getting in the fights in the hood. What are you doing there? So number four, I'm gonna stop right there. Number four, people have the fleeting success belief, and that hinders them. They just feel like, oh, I made it. Oh, that's the best I could do. Oh, it's not going to last. When you have the belief to get to that point, and then your belief change to say it won't last, it really won't last. And I heard it's an African proverb. I heard Confucius said it. I heard Henry Ford said it. I heard Will Smith say it. So we just going to say, because we don't know who exactly said it, we want to say the wise man once said, he who thinks he can and he who thinks he can't are both right. Soon you did all this to get to that point. You did everything you had to do to get to the point to have a measure of success, and then you start thinking, oh man, this won't last long, and it won't. You're going to find a way to self-destruct, right? You're going to find a way to do it, and that's one of the other points when we talk about self-sabotage. You heard it on Coach Carter, the deepest fear, the biggest fear, or whatever it was, about it's our light, not our darkness, that hinders us. We're afraid to be great. We're afraid. I'm telling you, I know I suffer from this all the time. That I'm afraid to say and do what I want to do. I talk about all the time, like, hey, I've been shy of that, but I feel like if I was to do and act, and if I was to have my spirit open like Muhammad Ali, I feel like somebody would come after me, like I was Martin Luther King, like I was a Malcolm. I feel like someone will try to cut me down on the street because I will try to bring positivity, but it would be such in a way and such an impact that, hey, I think someone will come after me. But like we said, let's go back over those six, right? I think I only did five. So we talked about people will believe that they're undeserving. That's number one. They think that they're undeserving. Number two, people their belief pattern of things that hit them is that they don't mind being ordinary instead of extraordinary. So that's number two. People don't want to let go and have that or be. People don't want to be seen as different, so they're afraid of the social change, changing into those social circles. So that's number three that hinders them. And then number four, people hinder by saying it won't last. They're afraid of their own success, which comes to number five. People will self sabotage. They're going to self sabotage because they don't want to think like a winner. They don't want to think like a winner. They want to be. Let me see. The winner thinks rational, not emotional, and people get into self sabotage, right? And then number six, guess what? They talking about being perfect. Perfectionism will hinder you from your success. Trying to be perfect is going to hinder your success. Why is perfectionism going to hinder your success? Because you're going to paralyze yourself thinking you have to be perfect. I could have gave up and said, well, I'm not going to do it because 11:36 had passed. It's almost 2:30 in the morning, but I'm still doing my live stream, even though I missed the time that I normally do it at 11:36. I dozed off, I fell asleep. Hey, that's what happened. But I had to get back up and say, no, I'm still going to do it. I'm not going to put it off. It's not perfect. As you can see, the Google Hangout didn't work right. Now my Periscope is thrown off and my Facebook Live video is thrown off. But I'm not going for perfectionism right now. I got to keep pushing forward. I got to keep pressing on because I gotta submit myself to the craft. And as I go on, things are going to get better. I'm gonna get stronger at it. I mean, I had a problem with the Google Hangout, but it didn't stop. Yeah, I'm starting late, but it didn't stop me. So, as we said, those are the 6 belief patterns that will hinder you from being the leader you're supposed to be. You got to reverse them. You don't want them to be a hindrance. You want them to be your greatest quality. Instead of thinking that you're undeserving of being that great leader, believe you deserve the people to give people a reason to follow you. You gotta feel like you're deserving of the following. You gotta believe that you're deserving of that payday of getting that, right. You gotta believe that you deserve it. And then number 2, you can't be ordinary anymore. You must be extraordinary. Don't be afraid of the social change. Your friend circles are going to change if you change, if your mindset has changed. If you elevate your mind, you got to get another circle because you got to get around the people that's going to challenge you. So you're going to be socially awkward when you're raising yourself to another level and your friends are staying on easy street. If they don't want to go to another level, you're going to have to step up and get some other friends. I'm just sorry to have to say that you can't stick around because what we call it here in Baltimore is the crab mentality. They're going to pull you down. They're not going to let you climb out the pot. They're going to pull you down. You're going to hinder your success. So you gotta be ready for that social change. And instead of believing that it won't last, you gotta believe that if it's not going to last, it's going to get better. Not it's going to get worse. Not it's going to go away. Not that you hit the top of your game. You could always get better. You could always get another book. You could always find another way to be successful. You could always go higher. So don't think about it won't last and I'm going to fall off. No, you got to think it won't last because I'm going to get better. I'm going to have more people to be responsible for. You're going to get more, not less. So that way, instead of self-sabotaging, you got to do what DJ Khaled say. DJ Khaled say it all the time. He's speaking only positivity. He only want positive folks around him. That's why he be like, oh, you the best. He didn't change his whole speech pattern around being positive. Another one and another one. He keeps going in positivity. He's trying to bring out the light within, not be afraid of the light, right? And then we talk about perfectionism and how if you're trying to be perfect all the time, it's going to hinder you. Because if you're trying to be perfect, then that means you're going to have fear in you. So now you got to change that. You got to flip that over and say, guess what? I'm perfect in something. You're perfect at doing something, and that's what you key in on, and you take it to the next level. You don't just leave it. The person didn't just stop with the telephone. Say, I have a telephone that has a big cord. Oh, I have a telephone, it's mobile and is big as my body. Oh, I got a telephone that's mobile and it come with a bag. Oh, I got a telephone that's mobile and then it was little like this. Now I have new mobile phones, stick a string, and now I have tablets, and now you have laptops instead of a computer to take up a whole room. They didn't just stop there. They made it better, and that's what you're going to do. You're gonna be perfect at making something better, and you're gonna run with it, right? So if you're thinking like that winner, you're being rational, not emotional. So that's it. You taking 6 belief patterns that hinder you, you're gonna make them positive. And then you're gonna tune in for the rest of this week. You're gonna tune in on tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be on time tomorrow about the blood, right? About blood. One of those fluids in leadership, which is blood, and that's the liquid that carries the oxygen in the body. You're gonna get the 1, 2, 3 to that tomorrow. And on Wednesday, we're gonna come back with Eric Ward Go Pro book. We're gonna be on chapter 3. Then on Thursday, we're gonna look closer into tears and how that liquid that comes from your eyes. What's the 1, 2, 3 that helps you do better in the business mindset of working with your tears? And then on Friday, we come back, we wrap it up with the sweat and the sweat equity, the 1, 2, 3 for that liquid that comes from your skin when it's hot or nervous. I can just give you a little insight on that. If it's too hot, if you can't handle the heat, get out the kitchen, right? So, got my notes ready for this week. Sorry for the late stream, but better stream than not to stream, right? And that's what you get. This is Mr. Aaron from the House of Aaron, one of your middle class millionaires. Want to encourage you to be confident, be smart, be fruitful, and multiply. Then when you start, you don't stop until you achieve your goals. Good night and good morning. I'll see you tomorrow or later on today for the next call. Thank you very much. So that's Periscope going down. Go ahead and in the broadcast